Have you ever felt like you are running on a treadmill that keeps getting faster and faster? You work hard and you save every penny you can. Yet every time you go to the grocery store, things seem more expensive. Your bank account balance stays the same, but it buys less and less. It feels like someone is quietly stealing from you in the middle of the night. That feeling is not just in your head. It is a mathematical reality called the Cantillon Effect. Most people have never heard this name before, but it is the secret rule that runs the entire world economy. It explains why the rich get richer while everyone else struggles to keep up. Today, we are going to look at how this machine works. And more importantly, we will look at how you can protect your family and your future. Imagine a giant water sprinkler in the middle of a dry field. When the water starts flowing, the grass directly under the sprinkler gets soaked first. By the time the water reaches the edges of the field, there is barely a drop left. The grass at the edges stays dry and brown, while the center is lush and green. This is exactly how money works in our modern system. The Federal Reserve is the sprinkler. The money they print is the water. When the government or the central bank decides to create new money, it does not appear in everyone's pocket at once. It starts at the source. The first people to get that new money are the big banks and the massive corporations. They get to spend that money while prices are still low. By the time that money reaches you, the prices of milk and gas and housing have already gone up. You are the grass at the edge of the field. You are getting the leftovers after the value has already been sucked out. This is why your labor seems to buy less every single year. The value of your hard work is being diluted. It is a silent tax that you never voted for. Richard Cantillon was a banker and an economist in the 1700s. He noticed this pattern during a massive financial bubble in France. He saw that those who lived close to the king and the banks became incredibly wealthy. They bought assets and land before the inflation hit. But the peasants and the workers suffered because their wages stayed the same while food prices soared. 300 years later, the same game is being played. In the last few years, the amount of money in circulation has exploded. We have seen trillions of dollars created out of thin air. This has caused a massive transfer of wealth. The people who own assets, like stocks and real estate, have seen their net worth skyrocket. But the people who rely on a paycheck or a fixed pension are falling behind. If you are retired or planning to retire soon, this is a major threat to your lifestyle. Your savings account is like a block of ice sitting in the sun. It is slowly melting away every single day. You cannot win this game by just working harder. You have to change where you stand in the line. You need to move closer to the source of value. The first way to protect yourself is by owning hard assets like gold and silver. Gold has been recognized as real money for thousands of years. The reason is simple. No government and no central bank can print more gold. It requires real labor and real energy to pull it out of the ground. When the supply of paper money goes up, the value of gold typically goes up with it. It acts as a shield against the destruction of the dollar. In 2024 and 2025, we have seen central banks around the world buying gold at record levels. They know what is coming. They are protecting their own balance sheets by moving away from paper. If the people who run the system are buying gold, maybe we should pay attention. You do not need to be a millionaire to start. Even small amounts of physical gold or silver can act as an insurance policy for your family. It is an asset that has no counterparty risk. It does not rely on a bank or a government to keep its value. The second way to protect yourself is a bit more modern. It is called digital gold or Bitcoin. For a long time, many people thought Bitcoin was just a toy for tech experts. But that has changed completely in the last year. The biggest financial institutions in the world, like BlackRock, are now embracing it. They have created investment funds that allow the wealthiest people to buy it easily. The reason they are interested is the same reason people like gold. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence. It is the first digital asset that cannot be inflated by a central bank. It is like a life raft in a sea of devaluing currency. While gold is for stability, Bitcoin is for growth and independence. It allows you to move your wealth outside of the traditional banking system. Of course, it can be volatile, and you should only invest what you can afford to lose. But as the Cantillon effect continues to push people out of the dollar, Bitcoin is becoming a primary destination. The third way to protect yourself is through strategic real estate and debt management. This might sound strange, but in an inflationary world, fixed-rate debt can be your friend. If you have a mortgage with a fixed interest rate, you are paying it back with cheaper dollars. As the value of the dollar goes down, the real cost of your debt also goes down. Meanwhile, the value of the property usually goes up with inflation. The wealthy use this strategy all the time to build massive portfolios. They use the bank's money to buy assets that produce income. If you own your home, you are already protecting yourself from rising rent costs. If you can own land or rental property, you are moving yourself closer to the source of value. Land is another thing they cannot make more of. It is a physical reality that provides shelter and utility. Unlike a savings account, a piece of land will never go to zero. We are living in a time of great financial transition. The rules that worked for our parents do not work the same way today. Saving money in a bank was a great strategy in the past. But today, that strategy can lead to poverty in your golden years. The Cantillon effect is a structural injustice. It rewards those who are already at the top and punishes those who play by the old rules. But now that you know how it works, you have the power to act. You can choose to move your wealth into things that the government cannot print. You can choose to educate yourself and your children about the nature of money. Wealth is not just about the numbers in your bank app. Wealth is about sovereignty and the ability to take care of your loved ones. It is about having the freedom to live your life without being a slave to inflation. Take a moment to look at your current financial situation. How much of your wealth is sitting in paper that is losing value? And how much is tied to real things that have stood the test of time? The transition may feel scary, but staying where you are is even scarier. The sprinkler is not going to stop anytime soon. The money printing machine is the only tool the government has left to solve its problems. That means the Cantillon effect will only get stronger in the years ahead. Do not wait for the system to change because it won't. Change your own position instead. Start small if you have to. Buy a little gold or learn about digital assets. Look at your home as more than just a place to live, but as a fortress for your wealth. The goal is to be self-reliant. When you own hard assets, you are no longer at the mercy of the next central bank meeting. You are no longer waiting for a crumb of water at the edge of the field. You are building your own well. This is the path to true financial survival in 2025 and beyond. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope this explanation has opened your eyes to the hidden forces around you. The world is changing fast, but those who are prepared have nothing to fear. Which asset do you trust more to protect your family's future? Is it the paper in your wallet or the hard assets in your hand? Let us discuss this in the comments below. Your perspective helps all of us learn and grow together. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone you care about. Until next time, stay vigilant and stay sovereign.